back again with Salma here in Asa from Sanctuary, and today we're going to make a this one a knit look beanie hat. Yes, it is knit look just because I'm currently obsessed with knit look crochet pattern. And for this beanie, I'm going to make it in adult size, basically in my size. But don't worry, you can also make it suit for you. Just by adjusting the size according to your head circumference. And don't worry, because it is a very simple pattern and I'm sure that it is really easy to follow. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial.
So here are the materials we need. I have 2 skeins of yarns. Each of them is 100 grams. And we need around 150 to 170 grams for this project. Here I used a medium size, and this yarn is made of wool and polyester, and with the recommended hook size 6 millimeters. So here I have my hook, 6 millimeters. I also have yarn needle, 2 stitch markers to help me mark the beginning and the end of the row. And lastly, I have a pair of scissors. Alright, so as you can see here, I already took out some of the yarn. And now, let's start by making a slip knot. Hold the yarn, twist it around your fingers, and insert into the loop. Pull it, and that's how I usually make a slip knot. Now insert your hook into the loop, and let's make 48 chains. Now I have my 48 chains. After this, we will continue for the first round. And we need to start from the second chain from the hook. So skip the first one and go straight to the second chain of the hook. And it's back loop only, okay? So skip the first one, go into the second one. Right, yarn over, insert into the second one, back loop, pull up a loop, hold the third loop, and bring it through the other two. Okay, now before we continue, we need to mark this starting point here with our stitch marker. And by the way, this is what I call modified half double crochet. So let me repeat it again. Yarn over, insert, back loop only, pull up a loop, hold that third loop, and then pull through the other two. Again, yarn over, insert, back loop only, pull up a loop, hold the third one, and pull through two. So that's it. So you just have to repeat the same technique until you have 3 chains left. I'll see you there. Alright, these are my last 3 chain. And here the technique need to change a little bit. And it is slip stitch. So just like you can see here, insert into the next chain, back loop, and then make the slip stitch. Again, make another slip stitch and chain 1. Now you're going to turn your work and we can continue to row 2. And now we need to do slip stitch into the next 3 stitches, but skip the first chain. Okay, skip the first chain and go into the first stitch and do the slip stitch. Just like so. And we need to mark this beginning of row 2 with stitch marker. Next, we gotta do another 2 slip stitch. So here is 1 slip stitch. Now for the 4th chain to the rest, we gotta do the modified half double crochet again, just like we did before. So yarn over, insert, back loop only, pull up loop, hold the 3rd loop and bring it to the other 2. Again, yarn over, pull up a loop, hold the 3rd loop, bring through 2. Now you're going to repeat this until the end of the row. Okay, here I reach my last stitch of row 2. And we still need to do the modified half double crochet here. So yarn over, insert back loop only, pull up a loop, hold the 3rd one and pull through 2. After this we have to make 1 chain and then turn the work before we can proceed to row 3. And the same, we have to skip our first chain and go straight into the first stitch of row 2 with modified half double crochet. And because this is our starting point, we have to mark this with stitch marker and then we can continue it again. Now we can continue with modified half double crochet until we have 3 stitches left. Okay, I'll see you there. Alright, now I reached to my last 3 stitches and I'm going to do slip stitch again. Okay, so insert your hook. And then yarn over and pull through. That's 1 slip stitch. By the way, if you have a difficult time to insert your hook into this little back loop, then you can just use your 4 fingers to hold the back loop and then push your hook into the loop. Okay, now 1 last slip stitch. And chain 1. Turn your work and we're ready to begin round 4. And just like our previous step, we will skip the chain and then go straight into the first stitch with slip stitch. I guess you already see the pattern. Like one side will be full of slip stitch, and then from the 4 stitches to the rest it will be modified half double crochet. Okay, so this is the slip stitch, and because this is the starting point, we gotta mark this with our stitch marker and continue to do another 2 slip stitch. Okay, now this is the 4th stitches, and we're going to continue all the way down with modified half double crochet. And now you have to repeat the pattern until you have 82 rows, or just adjust it with your head circumference so you will get the desired size of your beanie. Alright, I'll see you when I finish my 82 rows. Now I finished my 82 rows here, and if I want to count it, do you see the ribbing here? So this is the 2nd row, then 4th, 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th row, and so on until 41 rows. And for the next step, we need some yarn about 1 meter to sew these parts together, and I'm gonna do it this way. Take your yarn and lay it down flat on your project like so, and repeat it 4 times before we can cut it. Alright, this is 4, and here we can cut this part. By the way, before we sew this together, do you see that these stitches look like letter V? And so it means that this one is the front part, and here the V letter is upside down. So this part is for the inside. Okay, remember, the V is front part and the upside down one is the back part. Okay, now let's insert our tail into a yarn needle. Don't forget to check the V part to make sure that you don't make a mistakes, and lock the last row. You can just do the same thing. Alright, now we have to align it nicely like this, and then we can carefully sew it nice and tight until we reach to the other side. before we sew the top, we can tie this little yarn here with our remaining yarn. It is also to secure both part, the sewing part that we just did and the first part when we start this project. Make sure it is secure, nice and tight. Okay, and now you can see that this one is kind of similar to the other rib pattern here. So for the top, we just need to do the zigzag around the top until we reach this same spot. Okay, let me show you how to do it. Now that we get all the way here, we can simply pull it until it's closed. You have to make sure it is nice and tight. And before securing, we have to put all of the remaining yarn inside the hole like this. Okay, now you can turn it upside down, flip the beanie over so we can tie some knots with this remaining yarn. Okay, now it's secure. We can try to see if our beanie is completely closed or is there still any like holes or something like that. And if you want to close the hole completely, you can just align the two sides like this. Align it the way you want. This is how I do it. After you align it, then you can sew it together with the remaining yarn. Until you are sure that there won't be any hole in the center. I think this is enough. So now we have to check it again. You can see that there's no more hole here. And once you're satisfied with the results, now you can secure all the remaining yarns and then cut them nicely. So this is the final look, and I hope you like the tutorial. See you in the next video.